How often should you be emailing your list, your prospect list, your client list? How often should you be sending them stuff? It's one of the biggest hangups when people try to re-engage a list that maybe they haven't emailed in a while, or they're just trying to figure out what is the right cadence of communication and what should I be sending them. That question always comes up is, what is the cadence? How often should I be sending them an email? And I'm going to answer that in this video and give you a quick framework of how I think about email marketing and the number of times that you can email a list before coming across as, too spammy. So before I give you a concrete number on like you should email X times per week or per month or whatever the case might be, I want you to think about what you're actually doing. You're sending a piece of communication to another human on the other side. They go to their inbox and they read that email, right? And so as with any other human, it's about the relationship and the connection that you have with that person on the other side. If you've never sent them emails and all of a sudden you start sending daily emails like buy my stuff, sign up for this, sign up for that, you're gonna piss people off, and that's spammy. You don't want to do that. I was thinking about how to answer this question, and I thought about like my relationship with my mom, and I'm like, how often do I call my mom? I know some people call their moms every day, multiple times a day, and they're like chatting with, their mom and like, here's what's going on in my life and so on. That's the relationship that they've established. So it really depends on you and your relationship with your audience, with your customers. Because again, it's just another human on the other side. Now they have a business relationship with you, but you have to establish sort of that cadence and that relationship ahead of time. And if you haven't, then you have to work to earn that right to be able to communicate with them. If all of a sudden a friend starts calling you every day, hey, how you doing? Hey, how you doing? Hey, that's going to get annoying, right? But if you start to slowly build that relationship, then you earn the right to be able to communicate more with them. You got to bring valuable stuff, valuable content, make it about them, try to serve them, and then earn the right to make calls to action. So the second thing is you have to have something to say. So if you don't have anything to say aside from buy my stuff, buy my products, we have a sale going on, you're going to get a lot of unsubscribes. That's not how you build a relationship. But if you have great blogs, great videos, and so on, then you have a variety of things to say. And I have a colleague who sends out daily emails to his list. He works in sales, and he wants to send them daily sales tips. He's a sales trainer, and so he sends out daily sales tips, and that's the relationship that he has with his audience, right? If you don't have that relationship, start with once a month or start with once a week. And that's really the next thing, is start with what you can be consistent with. So start where you can. I recommend at the very minimum, do once a month. If you can, go once a week. Any more than that, you have to have a really good relationship with that list and that audience, and make sure that you're delivering enough value to warrant that constant communication, right? So if you're publishing multiple episodes or multiple blogs that is really relevant to your audience, and you want to send out those that cadence of communication that's more than a weekly basis, just make sure you have something to say and that you have a good relationship with your audience. I'll wrap up with a couple of more tips. One is the purpose of email marketing is to stay top of mind. I get an email from my financial advisor once a month, I think, and he just sends me this generic market update. I haven't unsubscribed because he's my financial advisor. It's not really super valuable, but if he were to send that to me every day, I'd be like, yes, I need less of that. But in this case, I look at it, I think about him for 15 seconds, and then I move on. Right. And so it's not really hurting anything, me and our relationship with the advisor, because he's sending me that piece of content. But what it does is it makes me think about him and say, oh, maybe I haven't talked to him in 6 months. I should call him. Right. And so he sends it once a month. And so something that you can be consistent with is really the key, that with your email marketing, you don't want to get into this rhythm of like you're doing a ton and then you're not, and then you're doing a ton and then you're not. The final little piece of advice is to delegate the task of sending out those emails. I'm a little bit too emotional. I think about, I haven't talked to Joe in 3 years, or that customer was like whatever, right? Whatever thing that is going through my head, and I start judging every single contact. I'm a little bit too emotionally attached to the email list. So instead, my team, who is in charge of sending out emails, they're the ones that are pushing out these contacts. They're the ones that are going and cleaning up the list. They're the ones thinking about the cadence of emails and how the previous one responded and so on. So make sure that if you're a little too emotionally attached to the relationships with those people, make sure you give it to somebody who can be a little bit more objective and balance out the business objective with the relationship that you have with your audience. Hope you found these tips helpful on email marketing.